Welcome to Bar of City, episode 26. I'm Eric.
I'm Kevin. You remember the episode right at the top of your head?
Yeah. I'm prepared this weekend.
I know, right? I guess it is fair to say last week was coming back from a 2-week break there. So
Yeah. Still no new interesting comments, but hey.
well, there'll probably never be interesting comments. But
I don't know. Depends on, how you see it anyways.
yeah,
So, how's your weekend been?
it's been all right. I've been kind of out of it all weekend, to be honest with you.
Uh.
I woke up really early, then I went back to bed and woke up at like noon. Tired or something.
I was drowsy yesterday, but today I'm good.
Yeah, I do feel a bit more awake after waking up the second time. I guess that'll do, when you sleep a really long time.
Mm-hmm. I honestly don't know what to talk about on this podcast this weekend.
I thought you were about to just go right into something. You're like, so, and I'm like, okay, here we go.
Oh,
I have no idea what to say.
I guess we got some new movies coming up, so that's kind of cool. The new Venom movie's about to come out.
Doom 3 trailer.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, it's called what the heck did they call it? Let me look. Yeah, it's not going to come out till next year. Doom the Dark Ages. Yeah, that's what they're calling it.
Doom the Dark Ages.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You should, if you watch the trailer, I won't spoil it for you, but when you watch the trailer, the shield that the Doomslayer has is like freaking awesome. So.
I love how they put spikes on his shoulder cauldrons.
Yeah, it's more than just spikes, though. You'd see it.
So are they like? Is it supposed to be like him going back in time, or?
I don't know. The trailer didn't really go into much detail on that. So, and I'm not sure if the company has released any of that information, to be honest with you.
Because with the name of like Dark Ages, it makes me feel like we're about to go medieval and some demonic gases.
It does look like it has some medieval elements sprinkled in there. It still looks like Doom, but it definitely has some of that kind of in there. So it makes me wonder, if there's a time travel aspect or if it's one of those post-apocalyptic thing where somehow they went, back to that style or something.
Well, it makes sense in most apocalypse to go that style because, not everyone knows how to make bullets, so guns become useless after a while.
Yeah.
And you can only keep ammo for some amount of time, even if you keep it correctly. So it just makes a lot of things easier. And it gives them a reason to make life difficult for the survivors. Like, if you have a zombie apocalypse, and it's just normal zombies, but everyone's got loads and loads of guns and ammunition. Most time it becomes, a little boring in my opinion. Like The Walking Dead, eventually they got a lot of ammo in it, but they eventually got to where they could make ammo. So it's just but now, I guess in the show like Resident Evil, you need to have guns everywhere because in Resident Evil, there's special zombies.
Yeah.
So I guess that's something to take into consideration when you are doing a post-apocalyptic show or movie. What kind of apocalypse is it? What's causing the apocalypse? I actually haven't. If anybody somehow someone decides to listen to it knows one and wants to comment, I don't think there's one that's actually like a post-apocalyptic alien show or movie, one where the humans or the civilization's fucked up because of aliens.
Yeah.
I guess that'd be harder to do because it'd have to be more high tech to show up.
Yeah.
Because there's movies with aliens and they fight aliens and it's technically apocalyptic, like we're on World. But they beat the aliens and rebuild their civilization. But I mean, we've had post-apocalyptic ape movies. You know, Planet of the Apes. I'm really scratching my brain here.
No, there's book series like that where there's, well, I know of one in particular. Forget the name of that book. I was trying to think of what it was called before I brought it up. But
Hmm.
it's like it's one of those alternate reality stories, like where what if this happened instead of that,
Yeah.
and it involves aliens in a post-apocalyptic world. The aliens are like very like reptilian looking, and they apparently what happened is viewed they took a look at our world. I guess I can't remember exactly what the book specifics were, but if they took pictures or video evidence or whatever, but um and they looked at our world back in the Middle Ages. Well, their world on their planet, things move a lot slower than our world as far as technology and advancement goes. And so they prepared an attack on us, and then they come into modern times and try to attack our planet, and they did not expect us to have such advanced, weaponry and stuff like that. So we winded up actually beating them. So because of that, but yeah, I can't remember what the alternate reality was though. Something changed in history in that book that set the course of the happening, but I can't remember what it was. But anyway,
Hmm.
that was a long tangent. Yeah,
Long tangent for very little.
yeah, yeah. Can't remember what but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But it has a lot of post-apocalyptic involvement in it.
Yeah.
That's what I was going for. Yeah, I was like, why did I bring that up? I'm like, oh yeah, post-apocalyptic stuff.
Yeah, most apocalyptic things are zombies or environmental or nuclear fallout.
Yeah. Definitely zombies, very common when it comes to
Yeah.
post-apocalyptic stuff. Like the go-to thing.
Looks like, well, not anymore as much though. Like the zombie phase, I think is kind of worn off. I mean,
Yeah.
except for like the Walking Dead universe, I think it's like still somewhat holding itself together because they're making spin-offs.
Mm-hmm.
But because I mean, they made The Walking Dead and they made Fear the Walking Dead, which they both did good. They had one other spin-off that they had already aired, and it's about the kids that only knew the apocalypse. They were born and raised in the apocalypse.
Yeah.
They weren't alive, pre-zombies.
Right. Like that's all they
I
know. Yeah.
I can't remember what that was called. And now they're doing a spin-off story with Daryl. And then I think they're doing a spin-off story with Michonne and Rick in London. Or somewhere over in Europe. I can't remember because the actor who plays Rick is from over there, and that's the reason they end up killing him off the show. Well, not really killing him. Spoilers for anybody who hasn't watched that part of The Walking Dead, which has been years. So if you watched The Walking Dead, hopefully you've watched that season. But
Yeah.
he's technically alive, and he gets taken off by a helicopter. And I guess that's how they left it open ended just in case the actor wanted to come back. But now they're doing a spinoff over there in Europe.
Yeah.
So he's closer to his family and all that. So he can
Makes
still
sense.
be Rick Grimes, but just not in America,
Yeah.
as far as I'm aware of. But other than that, most of the zombie stuff is pretty much dead. Resident Evil's even seems like it's slowing down.
Yeah.
For the longest time, Resident Evil was the zombie stuff.
Yeah. It's definitely not as popular as it was in the I remember it hit. I mean, well, zombie stuff has hit several peaks throughout time, but
Yeah.
But I remember growing up anyway, from my first point of view. I do remember though in the mid to late 2000s, zombie movies and shows and stuff like that just being everywhere, and I was just like, man.
Yeah, because growing up, of course, we had already, the George Romero zombie stuff, and the Night of the Living Dead, and its remake, and then its secondary, and then they had multiple things of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
To harken back to that, because you had Dawn of the Dead and the comedy Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
Then you had one more. I can't remember, but it was. I can picture every scene in my head, but I can't remember the title.
Hmm.
And then you had, of course, Resident Evil's games, and then they started the movies up in that time, and then you had a lot of B-rated zombie movies for sure.
Oh yeah.
A lot of B-rated zombie movies. And then you had things that had the Living Dead, the undead in it, but they weren't like the main focus.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you have like they were kind of mixed in with other stuff, like Ash versus the Evil Dead. That's undead and demonic stuff kind of fused. Necromancy because the Necronomicon.
Yeah.
You had World War Z book. The book of World War Z came out, and that was really popular.
Yeah.
And then they got the movie, which was less popular.
Yeah. I think the only reason why that movie got as much attention as it did is because Brad Pitt was in it. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, not just that is because it's the first. I think it was the first zombie movie to be like big time budgeted with that was from a book. That was a bestseller book.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of hype to have gotten it right from the fans, and I think a lot of fans did feel about it. Like they got the aspects of the zombie right. But I don't recall if any of the character that Brad Pitt was playing and stuff. I don't think his character was part of the book. I think it was basically just a different group of people in that world scenario.
Yeah.
Because also the part of the book which was interesting is it was going back and forth. Like at one point they were talking about something that was happening so many years ago, and then a different current timeline with different people. Like the book itself was like a amalgamation of stories of survivors through the World War Z.
Yeah.
And then of course The Walking Dead became the big staple because of its comics and then its show. Funny little thing about the comics is they almost weren't a thing. The writer of the comics actually lied to the publisher to make sure it actually happened.
Oh, really?
Because even though like World War Z was popular as a book, I guess the publisher didn't feel like zombies weren't going to sell, which is kind of funny to me because all the millions of copies sold of Resident Evil games, and then of course the Resident Evil movies.
Yeah.
But I think zombies were starting to wane a little bit at that point, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the publisher didn't feel like it was going to be a big thing. But the writers came up with a lie and was like, no, wait. But the thing is, the zombies were a ploy. Aliens created the virus and sent it to Earth. So it's going to be eventually a ploy where they figure out where the virus came from. That came from aliens. And then the virus
and that was all made, and that was all made up though.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So the whole ploy he made it seem like the aliens were using the virus to weaken humanity so they could conquer.
Yeah.
And eventually Rick and the group were going to have to fight aliens. Which he did do a spin-off comic with the Rick and them where they actually fought aliens. but it wasn't part of the main storyline. But yeah, he lied to get in there. So by the time he had to show, he would have had to show aliens anyways. The comic book series got popular, extremely popular. So he just kept with the way it was going to originally be.
Yeah.
And was like, well, it's really popular. And yeah, I lied, but it's popular. Kind of thing. So I always love how that came about. Is that
Yeah. I've heard a few stories like that before, like where people got like maybe a book published or a movie published basically through a lie, or at least they purposely misled the publishers.
Yeah.
In order to get, their product done, because they just knew it wouldn't happen any other way. Because they were like, if I could just get it published, I know it would do well, is what the writer or whoever would think. So
I mean, sometimes it pays off. It is a risky gamble, that aspect of it.
yeah.
Which is like, for me, I'm trying to figure out my spot to fully like produce my book and tabletop alongside each other, because yeah, kaijus is a popular thing, especially over in Japan, but America is not as popular,
Yeah.
and neither are giant mechs. Again, that's still a more Japan thing.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot in it. Like when it comes to mech stuff, it's only animes, and then of course you got Pacific Rim that has kaiju and mechs fighting, and then there's the Godzilla MonsterVerse. But outside of that, there's not really much much of it. So I'm like trying to figure out where to place it and where to put it out, because like I know the market's not fully tapped. It's like it's an oil well that has yet to be even partially dug into.
Yeah.
Because Toho had pretty much just kept in this niche area of their own thing. And of course, the Pacific Rim stuff, I don't think they're doing any more of that after their anime series they did. And of course, I can't even remember if there's even a new Gundam out. I know there's a new anime. I can't remember what streaming service is popping up on. Probably Crunchyroll, but I've just barely caught it.
Yeah.
I caught the trailer for it on something, and they have mechs. And the thing that irritated me is their mechs are built about like what I had the concept idea for, and since it was a style of mechs that hasn't really been done.
Yeah.
But theirs was very close to it. I'm like, you son of a bitches. You motherfuckers. It's a funny thing, the concept, like me and my buddy Jay talk about all the time. Like we'll have like thoughts about this type of character or this type of stuff or whatever. And then all of a sudden we'll keep an eye, of course, keep an eye on our nerd stuff. And somehow somebody will pop up in the official group, in the official, like he created a Brown Lantern, and all of a sudden they announced Brown Lanterns in DC Comics. Kind of like, man, if I had only thought of that a little bit quicker, put it out a little bit sooner. But like, hey, that was my idea first. But they're far enough from what I'm gonna do with my mechs to, luckily be different.
Yeah.
But they were a little too close for my liking, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. And because like the zombie market for me is tapped out. There's too much zombie stuff.
Yeah.
I won't touch zombies. I won't do Fallout stuff. Fallout. I won't do disasters like that. Like mine is technically going to be a post-apocalyptic world as well, but society was smart enough to still be high tech.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give out. Of course, I'm not going to give out the plot. until it's more closer to being published. Because I don't know, we need that one offshoot person to go across the video and be like, "Oh, I really like that. I want to steal it." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's another thing. Actually, yeah, Pacific Rim is the only post-apocalyptic kaiju and mech world. Because all the other mech worlds don't typically have kaiju's in.
Hmm.
Because like none of Gundam has kaiju's. It's just and Gundam is like half the time it's post-apocalyptic in a sense. Other times it's just major world wars. It's kind of weird with their timelines. They have like 6, 7 different timelines.
6 or
Um,
7.
yeah.
Jeez.
And the thing is, if you watch Gundam, which Gundam is great, I love pretty much all the Gundam series. Uh, but you actually have to. This show will connect to this show, which will connect to this show. But then you have this show over here of Gundam that doesn't connect to none of these ones that you just are just this one, this one, this one, but it'll
Yeah.
connect to this one over here. And then there's some that it's just the one show of it, like Iron Blooded Orphans, I believe is just by itself. And Iron Blooded Orphan, which is one of my favorite ones. It's the most one of the some of the most. It's funny, it's sci-fi and that space stuff, but it's one of the more grounded ones.
Yeah.
Uh, I love how I used quotation marks when no one can see me. So with Gundam, you really have to pick where you want to watch and make sure you have the order just right. Or you're going to end up like, oh, this is another Gundam show. Maybe this is. I wonder where this is placed. And you go to watch it, and it's just like, wait, I don't know none of this shit. Where's it supposed to be at? Kind of find out. Oh, it's in a different fucking universe, different timeline.
Yeah.
Woo! But it makes it interesting. It means they can do so much shit and just be like, oh, this is just a different timeline of the Gundam universe.
Yeah. Kind of
Uh,
helps them hit the reset button a little bit. Yeah.
yeah, and it gives them ways to like alter things or change something they want to change, or
Yeah.
maybe they just want to tell a new story style in the Gundam universe, but they
Yeah.
don't want it to be but they don't want to have to fully connect to this stuff because it limits what they want to do. So they can just create a whole new timeline.
Yeah.
So it makes a lot of sense to do that.
The only Gundam show I've ever watched when I was a preteen was G Gundam.
G Gundam, yeah.
Yeah.
G Gundam is good.
Yeah.
Like,
I tried watching a couple of the others. Like when I say tried, I mean like I watched like 2 episodes of them. I watched Gundam Wing. I watched. I can't remember the name of one of them, but I remember watching one where it was like the Gundams or the mech suits or whatever they're supposed to be called.
they're Gundams. Well, they're mobile suits, but because Gundam is the Pacific Mark suit,
Yeah.
so they're mobile suit, blah 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 blah. Then you get the mobile suit Gundams,
Yeah.
which in that world of mobile suit Gundam, the mobile suit Gundams are the most advanced versions of the Gundams of the mobile suits. I mean,
Yeah, that's pretty
and
much it when it comes to Gundam for me. So.
yeah, because like, let's see here, you have how many timelines are there? So you have the Universal Century timeline, the Future Century, the After Colony / Mars Century, the After War, Correct Century, Cosmic Era, Anno Domini, and then you get the Advanced Generation, the Guild Century, the Post Disaster, the Ad Stella, the Tempoa Era. Like I said, there's actually like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 timelines, with the Universal Century being the biggest timeline.
Jeez.
Because that's where you get a lot of the movies are set. There's a lot of things. Which Gundam was it you said you watched all the way through?
G Gundam.
G Gundam?
Yeah.
Whose timeline is that one? Let's see.
I have no
here.
idea. I didn't even realize that was a thing when I watched that show. So
There's too many.
I vaguely even remember much about the show. I remember it starts where he's looking for his brother, and because he can't find him anywhere, and I remember, geez, yeah.
Yeah,
I remember
Fire
that being
G Gundam is the future century.
That's pretty much, I think, the entire aspect, almost the entire first season, if I remember correctly, is him just going from place to place trying to find his brother. He meets random people that, he sometimes they become rivals. He fights against them, and sometimes
Yeah, that's the one where he has the shining finger.
Oh yeah, he says that a lot. Yeah,
that's the one where the Gundam's hand glows.
Shiny finger.
Yeah,
this hand of mine is something glows with an awesome glow. I can't remember what the whole phrase is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shiny finger, and then he basically just slams his whole hand through the other Gundam.
Yeah, it's interesting. I remember G Gundam.
It would probably be really cheesy if I watched it now, but when I was a preteen, I thought it was really cool. So
I have been thinking about rewatching all the Gundams in order and their timelines and all that, but I'm like, do I really want to put myself through this? Because like some of these are like, because you're talking about something that's been going on for, God, so many fucking years. I think Gundam has.
Excuse me. Jeez.
Yeah, because it started in 1979 with just Mobile Suit Gundam.
Yeah.
So I think it's celebrating its 40th anniversary. 40th anniversary was back in 2019. They actually in Japan have a two-size Mobile Suit Gundam that's connected to this big ass contraption they have that's holding it that uses hydraulic arms and stuff to actually move its arm and its leg, so it just like moves in place.
Why does that not surprise me?
I mean, they also have like a full size almost Shin Godzilla that you can zip line through his mouth. Yeah, there's a lot of cool things over Japan. Yeah, I don't know if I would want to put myself through all the brain hurt that is Mobile Suit Gundam sometimes, though. I mean, it's not bad as bad as Evangelion, whatever, however you say it. That world's just mindfuckery. I will never copy that kind of style of mechs. You good? You just toned me out, didn't you?
No, I heard what you said. I didn't really know what you were talking about, but I did hear what you said.
Oh. Yeah, Evangelion is another anime that's mechs. And they call angels. I don't know if they're actually angels or what they are fully.
Yeah.
But they done a weird thing is they had the manga, then they had the TV show, and then they decided to recreate the timeline of the TV show with movies. Like they regurgitated the entire series just with alterations in in a series of movies.
Huh.
Yeah. So, but I don't like it. Like, I remember watching it as a teenager, but there was a point in my life I was like, I remember watching this, but I don't remember shit about it. Like, why? Was it bad? Did I just not like it? Did I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? It's not my anime. I'm done with it. Scrub it out of my head. So I rewatched it as an adult, which turned out to be a bad thing. Because
Oh yeah.
there's aspects about it. For one, it's just fucking don't watch it if you're ever tripping acid. If you're tripping balls on any kind of drugs, don't watch it.
Oh, okay. I'll keep
God,
that in mind.
I couldn't imagine if you were tripping on something watching this fucking show. And then the aspect of it as an adult, there you get it shows freaking teenage girls' tits.
Like everything,
Like
or just like they're really big
so,
under their clothes.
this one girl that is technically she's just a clone. There's multiples of her.
Yeah.
You see her chest a lot.
Yeah.
She's in the nude.
So she's like, you see everything. Yeah. With her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other girl, you see it once when it's a fucked up moment. And I'm surprised it never got deleted out of the TV show, especially coming over to America.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. I'm surprised they didn't edit that out when they
Is this German
brought it to
girl?
America.
You see hers when she's So to the audience, and this is why I will never rewatch it again, and I will tell anyone who's never watched it just stay away from it.
Yeah.
Maybe watch the movies. The movies, I think, get rid of a lot of that. Except for the clone chick, you still apparently see a lot of hers because one of my buddies on Xbox, he's watched it for the first time,
Yeah.
and he doesn't remember the scene I'm about to talk about. So I'm guessing it's the show only. But the main character, who's a fucking whiny ass bitch of a kid the entire time, I fucking hate this kid. God, I fucking hate this kid. He does something and starts doing this, saying that, like, venting out rage at this German chick after she's been unconscious because when she was piloting her Evo, something happened in the fight. I can't fully remember the whole thing, but it caused her to get knocked unconscious and put in a coma.
Yeah.
And he like grabs her shirt and he pulls and it like rips half of it, so you see one of her boobs.
Yeah.
And for some reason starts masturbating on her. Yeah. I'm like,
I have no idea what to
why
say to
am-
that.
What? I mean, what is this? What? So I will never recommend that fucking show. I don't want to, but I probably need to watch the movies and see if they've cut out a lot of that shit.
Yeah.
But it was right there in the show, and I'm like, nope. Now I know why. Now I know why it's out of my brain. Now I know why Kid Me got rid of
Left all
it.
that out. Yeah.
You know, and now as adult me, it stays because it was so horrifying.
Yeah.
I'm like, so needless to say, Evangelion has made me very like cautious when I watch an anime.
Yeah.
Especially if they have like main characters that are kids.
Yeah.
Because I only half trust Japanese people anymore when it comes to anime.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
I think that's one of my biggest problems I have with anime is I mean, admittedly, I don't know like a lot of specifics about Japanese culture and their sense of humor, but they seem to have a really strange sense of humor to me as an American.
Sometimes it comes out really funny because it's like, wow, that was fucked up, but damn.
Yeah, and there's a lot
of.
Oh, geez. I think a bug just flew inside my nose. Oh, God. I can feel it. Okay.
Well, that's all the time we have today. He's going to die from a bug.
This, I'll be back. Yeah.
Well, everyone, my podcast mate's alive. He didn't die.
Yeah, I don't even remember what I was saying when that happened. I was saying something about anime, Japanese humor, but just out of nowhere, it was like, I even saw the bug coming at me. It was like, I went to go wipe my nose to get it away from me, because I felt it like land, I guess, around it or on top of it. And then it made its way inside there. So, and I couldn't get it out. I was like, oh, God, I think it's stuck. Yeah. So maybe I'm a little dramatic, but
interesting podcast this week.
It was a very traumatic experience.
Sure.
There we have what kind of bug that was.
I don't know. We've been having a bunch of gnats at work that have been just dive bombing me once I start sweating.
Really? I hadn't really seen any at work. I've seen plenty of flies, but I hadn't seen any gnats.
Well, gnats are just baby flies,
Hmm.
I believe. I don't know. I think like, or maybe it's just tiny. I just like because like it would be like right in the middle of my vision. Like I'd have to go cross-eyed to see, and I'm like, get away. Uh,
I always hate it when I'll be sitting at work and I got like 2 or 3 flies just constantly wanting to fly right in my face. Well, as I'm trying to like do something on the computer, whatever. I'm like, or sometimes I'm sitting there signing in a truck driver, and it's like they're sitting there trying to get right in my face. I'm like,
yeah, they want that moisture from your eyes.
yeah. Well, they can't
Thirsty.
have it.
Yeah, that's why a lot of bugs fly for your eyeballs is because they can tell that there's moisture there and they're thirsty.
Yeah, probably doesn't help that I sweat a lot on my face too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
since
that's what a
it's
lot too.
almost 90 degrees in that guard shack now, and it's only going to get worse.
Yeah. I got to remember tomorrow to bring the case of electrolyte popsicles I have with me. Put them in the freezer for everyone.
Yeah.
I just keep forgetting to do it.
Yeah, you get on that.
Yeah. Technically, I don't. I don't have to share that stuff with you guys.
I probably won't eat them anyway, but it'd probably be nice to everybody else. So
Yeah, probably is more good for the weekend, guys. But anyways,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Japanese humor is very out there sometimes, and it's.
I don't know why I'm laughing. Uh,
Yep,
well,
yep.
I
This
still
is
haven't
a
got any.
very.
I still haven't got any reviews on my game. I've been like constantly waiting on one. I want to know what somebody will say about it. I'm like desperate for a review on there.
I could actually find it.
I've had plenty of downloads, quite a few actually, but no reviews. But I guess it is fair. I keep having to remind myself. I was like, well, I mean, has a, I mean, it's not a super long game, but I mean, it has a little bit of length to it. And depending on how much free time these people have, they might want to get a good feel for it before they do any reviews, if they even plan on doing one. Because some people don't do that kind of stuff. But
Huh?
so I kind of have to remind myself that I'm like, well, they may do one, but maybe they're wanting to play it a little bit more. I also realized when I first released it that when I went back and played through little bits and pieces of it, that there was still quite a few mistakes that made it into the release. So I had to actually do an update. So, and I put on there, I was just like, some minor problems is there were several spelling errors, which doesn't surprise me because I'm horrible at spelling. I kept spelling the word steal wrong, like stealing something. I kept spelling it as like sitting still. I was like, why did I spell it like that? And the word mystic, I kept spelling it with an I instead of a Y. I don't know why I did that. But those were just minor things. The major errors was there was actually a couple of game-breaking bugs. There was one thing that I accidentally messed up on that actually caused you to get stuck inside of a place. You literally couldn't leave it once you went in there. And I was like, oh crap. I was like, I got to do an update on that. So, and I explained in the description that there were some game-breaking bugs that I did some updates on. So if you have already downloaded it, you might want to do the update. But yeah, I guess, I mean, I'll just keep waiting and seeing, hoping maybe somebody will do a review on it.
Maybe. Or they just won't like it. Just leave it alone.
Yeah, they're just going to play it and then move on with their lives. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, well, that was fun, I guess. All right, what's the next game? Yeah. I guess I put myself in the audience's shoes. Some people just, it's kind of like with our podcast, you can't seem to get a lot of interaction with it yet. And it's just like you just have to put yourself in their shoes sometimes. Sometimes people just don't really care that much. They're just like, yeah, whatever. Yeah. That's one thing I always had to remind myself with my YouTube videos was, especially when I first started YouTube back in my early 20s, I remember I get so frustrated. I would spend all this time and energy into this, for a video and stuff, and just see like a low amount of views, not very many comments, not, or anything like that. Just not a whole lot of, views and interaction in general. And I get so frustrated, be like, well, I put all this work in here. Like, why aren't people? But, you have to look at it from their view. They don't see all that work that you put into
Yeah.
it. All they see is this little crappy video that you, and some of those videos were really crappy too, looking at it from, years later. But at that time, I was like, all I could think about was all the work I put into it. I was like, yeah, but they don't see that.
Nope.
Nor do they care.
No, it's not their job to care about that. It's,
They want to be entertained. They are there to be entertained. And if you want to be a YouTuber, you're going to have to bring the goods. So.
Yep.
But yeah, I was new at it at the time, and I just didn't have that understanding. So, but that was
like coming to this, like, if it goes, it goes. If no, oh well, I'm having fun and getting to talk shit.
Yeah. I always tell people, I'm like, keep that mindset, whatever you're doing, podcasting, YouTubing, or maybe you're making a game too, or whatever. Keep the enjoyment of it, there, because there is a possibility you may not get like a lot of. If you're only doing it just for the money, or only doing it just maybe you want to be popular on the internet or whatever and get internet interaction, if that's all you're doing it, there's nothing wrong with wanting those things, but if that's all you're doing it for, like, you might want to, like, reconsider that, because like that there's a possibility that may never happen. So
yeah,
or at least take a very long time to happen, maybe.
I always find it funny when I catch a clip or something or whatever on TikTok or YouTube or whatever, of people like whining, like, why doesn't no one like my content? I'm like,
Yeah.
well,
it's just like, if you weren't you and you were somebody else, would you watch that stuff? Yeah, kind of think about that.
Yeah, it's like, what kind of content are you doing?
Yeah.
What's the focus of your content? Is it comedy? Is it just shit talking like our podcast is? Just random shit.
Yeah.
Are you just showing your assets? You flaunt your little assets through some tight clothing for some women.
Yeah. Well, depending on how attractive you are, that may work or may not work for you. Some people are just, let's be honest, some people are just blessed with genetics and they can get away with stuff like that.
That is true.
Yeah.
And
but you may not be one of those people. Just say it.
Yeah. Now, if is it okay? You're doing game content. What kind of games are you playing?
Right.
Are they just simulators? Are they like really B-rated games that no one has ever heard about? Yeah. Are you going through the rabbit hole of stream to find your games that are cheap and you play YouTube videos of those?
Yeah. I did that once.
Like, I get it, it's a good way to start in a sense, I guess, because they're cheap games.
Yeah.
Some of those cheap games are good.
Yeah.
Okay, are you commenting on the gameplay? And if you are you just sitting there screaming?
Yeah. Or maybe you're not really saying much at all. You might be kind of boring, to watch. Yeah.
Because, like, there's only one major popular YouTube that got really popular from just screaming at random shit. That's PewDiePie.
Yeah. There's a couple of other YouTubers, definitely never as popular as PewDiePie for sure. But
all the other YouTubers that sit there and scream at stuff, it's either they scream and rage at like game failing, like getting killed in games or whatever.
You also have to remember
Markiplier, they're reacting to horror games.
Yeah. You also have to remember what is you doing the exact same thing someone else is doing doesn't necessarily translate. Like, people might find that person funny when they do that stuff, but they may not find it funny when you do it, Yeah. Maybe you don't do it as well, or whatever. So
do you just have an extremely
they might just find you annoying, yeah.
Yeah. There's so, like, you can never copy another YouTuber, streamer, or Instagram person or whatever to the letter.
Yeah.
Because things that they found success in, they found it because that was just who they were or what they decided to try.
Yeah.
And after a while, people don't want the exact same YouTuber. If you see all these YouTubers that are doing this kind of content, maybe dip it in a little bit, show some stuff in that if that's something you're still in, if you're interested in that content as well. But try stepping over here to this content over here that has less YouTubers or streamers working on it. Like, I would never try to become uh, I would never try to become a Fortnite gamer. There's too many Fortnite. I mean, I don't like
Oh,
Fortnite
yeah.
in general.
Sometimes
but,
that is a problem too. Too much saturation of a type of game. Yeah.
so that's what a lot of people don't take into account when they're doing games in general.
Yeah. They think, oh, this
Now,
game's really popular.
review
A lot of people
channel.
play it.
If you're going to be a review channel, that one's one of the toughest to get going. And like most people don't like a lot of review channels.
Yeah. It's also fair
Also, a lot of
review channels tend to have a more casual audience because it's usually a coming and going kind of party situation. They usually aren't sticking around to watch your other reviews because they may not care anything about those other things you're reviewing. So.
It's kind of like with review channels and everything is there's a couple reviewers that I like, and I only like certain things they're reacting to. Like I'm still even with that specific reaction channel. I'm only picking and choosing like, oh, that would be funny to watch this specific person react to this specific style of song or whatnot.
Yeah. And sometimes that can be an exception. Sometimes a lot of people just may find that person to be interesting or funny or whatever they are to them, and so they can, other people may come along and look at that channel and be like, well, all they're doing is this. I feel like I could do that. I'm like, yeah, you could, but you're probably not going to be as popular as them because they may not like you as well. So,
and then you're
being honest,
And here's another thing you gotta be for what really helps with some reactor channels is a lot of them. Like I couldn't be a reactor in a full sense because especially when it comes to music just alone, I have so much taste in so much music genres.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of music. And I'm getting tired of this dumb motherfucker blowing up my phone. I don't know if you can hear the dings in the background.
I can't hear any of it. I don't know if it's picked
I'm
up.
over here just hearing ding, ding, ding. I'm about to throw my phone at him. I'm trying to do my podcast. Shut up. And I hope he listens to this podcast episode, fucker.
Are you talking about who I think you're talking about?
Jay, yeah.
Yeah.
He's blowing up my phone and it's annoying. Well, and so reacting to music for me, it would be I'd have to start the channel and react to instantly new content from the band. I couldn't be like some of these reaction channels. They started out with doing that, and then, but some of them were like they never really listened to country music, or they never listened to heavy metal, or this or that.
Yeah.
So they were able to dig into some content that was already been piled up over here, while this other stuff they're waiting for their other stuff to build up. So they were able to dive into that and show off a whole new reaction to something they never listened to or paid much attention to their whole lives. And you get a lot of reactors that are that. They have specifically been one genre most of their life. And then you get, some reactor channels like one of my favorites, Knox Hill. I watch him because he's a rapper, and he also has a very good breakdown of rap songs. So if there's a rap song that I got really into, and I'm like, I caught what the rapper is saying. I know what the lyrics are, but I watch his channel. I was like, I'm curious on how he interpreted it as well. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, because he's someone that's in that industry. Even if he is he's not an industry rapper. He's just I forgot what it's called, independent. He's an independent, but he still knows that industry. Um, you good?
Sorry, that was such an old man cough.
That was.
Oh man.
But so I'm the type of person I couldn't do that. And now, could I do a gaming channel? Probably. I mean, it's gaming. It's kind of easy to do. If you're into games, but you just kind of have to
Playing
know
indie games. Yeah.
Yeah, like you just kind of have to know your lane when you start up a channel of any kind,
Yeah.
and know what you're good at, what entertains you. Because a lot of times, doing YouTube videos, especially when it comes to gaming or reviews or
Oh man.
all that kind of stuff, like a lot of times to get the best audience, a lot of times the quickest way is to really put yourself out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't have that like urge to want to put themselves in the comfort zone. Or you can just do something extremely fucking stupid on the internet and hope it goes viral in the right way.
I remember that was a concern of mine when I started my YouTube channel back up like 4 years ago or something like that. I was by that point, those cringe compilation channels had gotten really popular. And they existed back when I first started YouTube, but they just weren't super prevalent yet. And I was so afraid that I was like, I would be so self-conscious about my content sometimes and what I would put out, because I would be like, what if I wind up in one of those cringe compilation videos? I was like, I would be so embarrassed if that ever happened to me.
I'm the exact opposite. If you put me in a cringe compilation, like, hell yeah, I'm somewhere.
Yeah, that's what some people told me. It's like, hey, look at it like this. Like, that means you're getting some attention. I was like, yeah, but the wrong kind of freaking of attention.
Well, the thing is, that wrong type of attention could turn into good attention,
Yeah.
Good attention. Because, like, when you're part of a cringe channel, if you get put on a cringe channel,
yeah,
people start actually going to say to go check out your channel to see. They want to watch it actively happen.
Yeah, and leave hate comments. Yeah.
And then sometimes they go to watch it, and it's just because the cringe channels, they like to take little things out of context. And that's how they get a lot of their cringe stuff, is they take a lot of things out of context. Unless it's absolutely just somebody being extremely stupidly cringe the entire, like, you got to watch some of them. These people are being really over the top in an interview or something, whatever,
Yeah.
Or interactions with other human beings nowadays, especially. There's a lot of videos on people reacting to people recording someone doing something so fucking stupid. You can't break down the side of the road and start yelling at your car and kicking it because, say, your tire iron broke. Somebody's going to stop and film and be like, look at this idiot in the highway.
Yeah.
That's the type you don't want, But if you have a channel and they took a little clip of you out of context because it was a cringy, that little section was cringe, and somebody comes to your channel and be like, oh, so he's only partially cringe. But you never know.
See, I wouldn't mind become like a part of a meme where like maybe just one little moment on one of my videos like became like really stupid or silly to people, and then they create. Now that would be okay, but I wouldn't want a lot of my content to,
You don't want someone to tear you to pieces in their channel.
Yeah, and then suddenly people come on my videos and all I'm really getting is an overwhelming amount of hate comments. I was just like, I'm a very sensitive person, okay? You can call me a baby, whatever you want to label, you want to throw on me, whatever. But I will admit it. I'm very sensitive, and that would absolutely, if that ever happened to me, that would just devastate me. I would just feel horrible.
It wouldn't be, because the thing is, like, my response is like, oh, okay, keep typing all that stuff, keep hating on it. You're
Yeah,
still racking up my views.
I
That's all
I
I
wish I
care.
had that attitude. I really do. But yeah, I
Because like
just don't.
it's kind of the partially that attitude you need on doing YouTube or anything. Because
Yeah,
like the thing is, every time they click on your video to comment on it, or say somebody that's a diehard fan replies to it to defend you, and that person
yeah,
decides they want to talk more shit. I've seen comments with 1,000 replies, and it's just people bitching back and forth. But every time they go to that comment, every time they reply, they reactivate your video. So all these views are coming up because people are in your comments just chewing you out, chewing each other out. And I'm over here like, I'm okay, I'm for it. Y'all want to tear each other apart for me to me get paid for it? Okay,
yeah.
sure, fine.
Just racking up more views. Yeah,
Yeah. Because you get a view every time somebody watches your video.
yeah,
So hey, if I'm gonna be if I'm a YouTuber, it's kind of one of those. I'm here for make money, and put out content. If you don't like my content, just don't click on it.
yeah.
Because if you click on it, I'm going to enjoy it because you're getting money.
That's something I'll never understand as long as I live. Why people they claim to not like something, but then they keep watching it or listening to it, whatever. And I'm like, well, if
Yeah,
you don't like it, why are you in? Just get away from it and don't watch it or listen to it anymore. That's what I do.
yeah.
If something is not my cup of tea, or I flat out think it's bad or whatever, I don't watch it. So,
Yeah, and like there's movies I haven't watched that at first looked interesting, but there's situation about it that I don't like, so I just don't watch it. I never watched it,
yeah,
and it could be as simple as the actors stuff or the director came out and said something fucking stupid, and I'm like, I don't fucking agree with you.
yeah,
And because I don't like the director, and I just won't watch his movie because I won't give him money.
right. Fair enough. Yeah.
And people are like, "Oh, that's horrible. What about all the actors and stuff? They didn't do anything wrong." Well, it sucks for them. They were in the movie with a dumbass director. I mean, I'm like, everyone else will watch it and talk shit on it, so they'll get plenty of money. Somebody will at least watch it once to cover mine.
Yeah.
At least an extra time to cover me, so I'm good. Um, but at the same time, if you're the type of person that wants to give your whole life to something that you hate, you're going to constantly watch this channel's videos and talk shit on their channel and write nasty reviews and this and that. You're just bringing more views, whether it
Yeah.
be your comment yourself or replying to people talking shit against you in your comment section, and you getting butthurt and replying back. That YouTuber don't care. A lot of them don't give a shit. A good
Yeah.
chunk of them, if they apologize for what they said, they only apologize so YouTube wouldn't take them off. They don't give a fuck that you were offended. They're only
Yeah.
doing it so YouTube doesn't take them off the channel, or Spotify or Twitch, whatever platform they're on. They only care to apologize because they don't want that platform to take them off. Because the platform cares because they don't want the bad rep.
Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, the YouTubers don't care if they said it. It's because they meant it.
Yeah.
And you'll sit there and they'll rack up the views and all that money before it even gets to YouTube's head, big wigs or Twitch's big wigs or whoever's big wig, before they start coming down on you on the YouTube, and they'll rack up plenty of money off that video, and then they'll take it down, apologize, and their apology video will blow up, and they'll give you
Yep.
more money. That's what a lot of people don't understand is when companies or actors or YouTubers, Twitch streamers, and all this, they don't care. They act like they care, but they don't care about the public opinion a lot of times
Yeah.
because they know if they If you really love them, you're going to watch it. If you fucking hate them, you're still going to watch it because you're going to want to try and shut them down.
Yeah.
You're going to put all this time and effort into them because you don't like them and you're just zero focus on that hate that becomes your life. And they will eat it because it gives them money. And they'll continue doing similar stuff just to get more hate. Look at the Paul brother. They've done so much shit, and they've apologized now. They are trying to act a little better or whatever. I don't know. But they've done all this cringe ass shit and this asshole shit because they realized, hey, all these people hate us, but they're still watching a shit ton of our chat videos.
Right. And there's money.
We're making a shit ton of money off of this.
Yeah.
We'll just keep doing this because this is working. It's an easy paycheck.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Just go online, act like an asshole, and then get paid for it.
Yeah. And I don't care if I don't know, this would never probably come across, but if any of the people in the Paul camp come across this, the Paul brother camp, I'm not talking shit on you guys fully. I'm saying it's smart business for you guys. I'm talking shit on the people that are giving y'all that attention because that was, y'all were smart for what y'all was doing. Assholes, yes, smart. You're still being an asshole, but I get what you're doing. It's smart. And then, because I've noticed, and I've paid attention to the world, I paid attention to media and stuff. When companies full on change for the public opinion, we'll take Star Wars for example. It's a good example, right?
Mm-hmm.
They very much went and listened to the public and done the whole woke thing or whatever you want to call it. But their views dropped because the people that didn't have a problem with it originally are now having a problem. They're stepping away because it was, the original nerds or whatever, the fans now feel shat on and they just walked away because a lot of, members of the nerd community, they don't make that a part of their life, except for the ones that do YouTube. They'll make it a part of their life because they can make money off it. But the average one will just walk away because they don't see it as worth their investment no more. But the people that the movies and stuff are pandering to, and those kind of those type of movies, a lot of them don't watch those movies because it's not actually their style of movie.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things you got to be careful how you respond with the public. You can lose money by fully pandering, but sometimes you can also gain money by pandering. So, but time and time again, it's shown there's more chances of losing money if you just pander to groups that you can tell, on average, don't watch that stuff. What you want to pander to is people that are going to pay attention to your media fully. Which YouTube, it's easy to do because you get the comment sections and all this, blah, blah, blah. But movies, you just have to wait till reviews come out, and they don't come out until after the movie's made. So, I got on a tangent again. But it's the truth and how things work. And it comes down to anybody who wants to create a channel. Again, back to that. You have to know what you're going to make your content, who you're going to pander to, who do you want to try and pull.
I love that.
Well, it's the truth because
you don't beat around the bush. You're just not
don't.
Well, think about who your audience is. You're like, who are you going to pander to? Yeah.
Well, that's the truth. You can do a YouTube channel I'm doing it because this is things I like.
Yeah.
Okay, things you like are going to be pandering, is going to pander or attract certain groups, people. Now, depending on how much, that varies.
Yeah.
So you have to find stuff that, especially if you want to make it a full-time career, you have to branch out and be multiple things. You have to be able to agree with this side, make content for this group, and this group. Because even in the gaming community, we're so separated.
Yeah.
Like, you can't sit there and expect Elder Scroll fans or MMORPG fan to watch your channel if you're just a Call of Duty channel or a Fortnite channel. These guys don't typically like that stuff.
Yeah. Well,
They're
yeah,
over
there's
here.
a difference between a core gamer and a casual gamer, but yeah. So,
Yeah. So if you want to track those people, you have to add a little bit of extra type of games to your style.
Yeah.
But luckily, there's a plenty of, especially when you're streaming this stuff, because there's so many people that's streaming it. Because when those shooters came out, like Fortnite and stuff, they were so fucking popular. They're still popular.
Yeah.
A lot of people jumped on that bandwagon quick. So I could probably pull up a list of like 30 fucking streamers right now that are probably live on Fortnite or Minecraft. Minecraft's another big one that's way tapped out, in my opinion.
Minecraft was one of those when Minecraft started getting popular online. Literally everybody and their father, mother, sister, brother started playing that game online. I mean, like you had people from like 80 years old all the way down to like 8 years old playing that game online.
Yeah.
It's like, it's crazy how like many people did that. At least with Fortnite, it mostly is younger teenagers and kids, mostly. Of course,
young
there are adults. Yeah, you don't find too many 80-year-olds when they're playing Fortnite. But with Minecraft, you do find stuff like that. And it's just like, it's
my
crazy.
stepdad played Fortnite.
How old is he?
Now he's in his 50s. But he was in his mid 40s with Fortnite. He got into Fortnite. I'm like, why? I'm not even in Fortnite. And I'm 20 years younger.
I tried to get into Fortnite when it first got popular, or when it ran a couple of years after it came out. It just wasn't my cup of tea. So.
Yeah, well, now I'm tempted to download it because they have basically a Lego Survival Worlds.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it did look interesting, I will admit.
Because there's also a Star Wars one. I kind of want to fuck around with the Star Wars one. Again, I'm a nerd and I love Legos. Back to nerdy stuff with you. Yeah. Yep. I'm a Star Wars nerd and I love Legos and I love video games. So, I do that way too much. Talking about Minecraft doing that.
Oh yeah, like the villagers there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like they took that nasal Squidward laugh and just made it like a whole language.
They look a little bit like Squidward, though.
Yeah. So it's like they made a language out of Squidward's laugh.
Especially with that big nose. Oh, I just bit my tongue. There, you just did it.
One thing I can't wait to be able to do one day again is go re-travel the world again.
You'll never get the chance.
Probably not.
I was trying to put you down. Did it work? I'm such a good friend. Purposely trying to make you feel bad.
Yeah. I mean, I can't really feel bad. I mean, I've already done it. So.
Yeah, that's true.
But it'd be nice to be able to do it if, like, say the podcast kicked off to where I'm like, we're really raking in the money. And
literally just raking it off the table.
We're swimming in it. We're
all this cash.
We're ducking it.
Put all that crap in my bag right here. Yep.
Right.
There must be over $30 on this table.
Damn. Like, I don't even know how it feel if like you text me like, dude, we just cracked like 100,000 views. I'd be like, oh.
So if we like just suddenly got a bunch,
yeah, just somehow like people actually came across the channel and just started blowing up.
Yeah,
I don't know how I feel about that actually.
I'd immediately feel self-conscious because I'd immediately start thinking about all the stuff I said. and do it on the podcast and be like, "Oh crap, they're gonna cringe at this part, this part, this part, this part."
They're gonna cringe at it all. We're both just fucking cringe. I know. Don't worry for the little tiny bit of viewers we got right now. It ain't ever gonna get any better. We're still gonna be fucktards no matter what. We might have some little bit more exciting stuff, but I don't think. At least I don't have no plans on it ever changing.
Oh, I have tons of plans.
Oh no.
The podcast is going to go through layers and everything.
So, at this point, any viewer, do y'all want to take my place? Because I don't think I want to deal with that.
Oh, it won't be that bad.
Oh, okay. No, it'd probably be lame knowing you
How dare you?
talk shit about me traveling again. See what you get. Well, like, it'd be nice to be able to take my wife to at least a few other states or some countries.
Yeah.
Because,
So
like,
if you go traveling again, take me with you.
Pay for your own seat.
I don't have no money.
Motherfucker, if I had the money, you would have the money because it's not like I'm the only one getting paid with this if it does go like that.
I got a lot more responsibilities than you do, though.
I mean, kind of not wrong, actually. Well, honestly, you wouldn't have hardly any responsibilities if this kicks off to that point because you're like, oh, it's already covered.
Who knows?
you'd have
Maybe if I find a country I really enjoy, I might try to get a work visa there and just stay there.
Have you heard of these? What are they called? Like something daddies, card daddies, or whatever. So I guess guys are tired of dating women in the United States, so they're like traveling to other countries to meet women and get married to those women over there and bringing them back. I have no idea what it's called, but
never heard of that concept.
I gotta look up. But yeah, they're going over to other countries and getting and hooking up with women over there. Going on dates and stuff with women there. And the thing is, and they start dating a girl over there, or lady over there, whatever. And they hit it off, and they actually start liking each other. And they actually start becoming boyfriend or girlfriend, and whatever. And then they'll, bring them back over here, or whatever. But yeah, they've been going overseas to do that.
You know the song "I'm Glad You Came" by The Wanted?
Yeah.
I got that song stuck in my head.
Oh.
I know you just really wanted to know that, didn't you? I can't get it out of my head. I'm like singing it like crazy in my head, not out loud.
But yeah. Passport Bros is what they're called. Yeah.
Passport Bros?
Yeah, they're calling themselves Passport Bros. A subculture of American men has emerged and is currently taking a trend who are traveling abroad with the goal of finding a romantic partner or wife, dubbed as Passport Bros. They are a group of American men who have decided to take a leap of faith and hop on a plane to find love among foreign women. They often travel to countries where they believe women may have more traditional or conservative values or be more appreciative of traditional gender roles. But for real, who wouldn't want to trade in the American dating scene for a chance at love in a foreign land? This is the rest of the article, but I'm not going to read the full article. But yeah, Passport Bros. They literally are going to other countries to find love. Because, I mean, I guess I don't know. I've been out of the dating scene for 10 years, but I guess the dating scene here in America is getting really bad.
Yes, I can tell you firsthand. It's horrible. No, not that I'm
date.
Yeah, I've lightly tried to, but admittedly, I haven't actively tried to. So If I was more active, I could probably have more luck. But yeah.
Yeah, apparently there's a whole stigma
I'm too
about it.
much. I'm too much of a loner.
And like, I'm over here like, man, if it's getting this bad, people are going to other countries for wives again. Because I know that was a big thing a long ass time ago, mail order brides or whatever.
Yeah,
But then that stopped being a thing.
that's how I found my wife.
Oh God.
I went on
But
to
I get the
buyawife.com or something like that.
I guess I get the appeal of it.
We're not together anymore. I want my $30 back.
Damn. Well, that's between you and the website, not me.
I'm just kidding, everybody. By the way, in case you don't get my sense of humor,
He has no sense of humor. He's dry.
I didn't buy her online. I bought her through the mail. I sent a thing in the mail, a money order.
But yeah, I don't know. Could you do that, Kev? Like save up the money just to go to another country, just to
Just
find
to
a
find
chick?
out why
Yeah.
first. Sure, why not?
I mean, I'll try it, I guess.
No. I'm desperate. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, sure. I mean, I'd try it. I mean, it would have to be one of those things I wouldn't force it though. Like if I met someone that I felt like I could, want to be with, then I would let it happen. But I wouldn't want to force something to happen. So
Yeah. Well, I wonder, do like these other countries have like a place you go to, do a dating thing with the women there? Like, I'm fully curious on how the whole system works. Like, I'm lucky that I got my wife,
excuse me.
but like, how? Like, the amount of money it costs to travel, and it costs more now than when I travel. But like, are you like sitting up in the hotels there or Airbnbs? What if they have some? And like where do you go? Do you just walk the streets like normal, like you would used to do? If you
My
thought a
guess
girl
is
was,
there's probably meeting places, like they could be specific restaurants or something where people often meet for people like that. Sort of like when, people go to singles bars,
yeah.
or sometimes singles restaurants.
Like I'm imagining that if I go, like me and my wife went to Japan because it's one of the places she wants to go to. She wants to actually see Japan, and I do really want to go back. It's like am I going to like walk by like a restaurant and there's gonna be a sign, "Passport Bros Welcome"?
Come on in. Yeah. We're overstocked right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Have a sign, have a little hang bar under it.
Yeah.
Plenty of women. The other side says no more women. Like, I mean, do you go online? Do they have a registry for that? Like, what kind of wife do I want? I don't want to do. I want something in the Asian variety. Let's go China. Yeah, go through the. Do they have like a website? You go through the list. This is like, you fly over there. And you go. I'm like, making connections is hard enough in your own country.
Yeah.
But like, how taking your time out of your actual life to fly to another country just to hit on women and try to get a wife or like from another country, a foreign wife.
Yeah.
Like I've had one night stands in other countries, but again, that's kind of simple, especially back in the early 2000s. One night stands were pretty simple.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the mid 2000s, I should say, because I was too young in the early 2000s. So it's like, how long do you have to stay? Do you have to be there for like a couple weeks, a couple days? Like, and also, I'm extremely picky when I date a girl. Like, I have to get to know them before I even ask them for a first date.
Oh, really? You wouldn't even
Yeah,
go on a date with them without knowing them a little bit?
I've done that a couple times and I don't, because for one thing, I am of mind, and if I'm going out and approaching a woman or whatever, I do pay for the first date.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of reason behind it. It's not, I'm not a simp or none of that kind of shit. My view on why guys should pay for the first date is because when you're paying for the meal and all that, you have all the power. Like at
Yeah.
any point in that dating, and that date, you don't like it. You're like, nah, this girl ain't for me. You can just pay and go your separate ways.
Yeah.
Because like the whole argument over splitting bills, which I guess is a big thing now. Guys are wanting girls to split the first date bill, and the girls are not, women are not having it or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just like there's no point in arguing. Just guys, if you're going to approach a woman, just pay for the first date, because if it doesn't go well, you just pay and get the fuck out.
Yeah.
But I'm the type of person, like, I want to know if when I take someone out, because I don't like going cheap on the first date.
Well, you
Maybe
don't take her to McDonald's?
no, I do not spend less than $50 on a
Could you
meal.
supersize those fries for her? It's our first date.
Nah.
Don't worry about getting a second drink. We're gonna share a Coke.
No. Nope. I didn't share a drink with my wife until we were together, I think like 4 or 5 months.
Oh, really?
I don't share drinks with people. I don't like it.
Yeah. Well, you know how I am about that. I don't care. I'll share a drink with a stranger. I don't care.
Well, like, and people are like, you never share a drink with your guy, your buddies or whatever. Like, yeah, I've waterfalled it. They've waterfalled. If we only could afford one bottle of Mountain Dew or something, and we don't have a cup, we waterfall.
Yeah. I just drink it straight up. Well, I would just drink it straight up. As long as they were okay with it, I was okay with it.
Yeah.
So. Some of my friends were not okay with that, so I didn't do it. But if they were okay with it, I would do it. So I just drink it. So.
Like, or we had this one thing where one of my buddies, he'd put his finger on the bottom of the lid and put his lip to the finger to waterfall that way, so he didn't spill any.
Yeah. I'm trying to picture that in my head. Yeah.
It's a little weird. But yeah, so like, if I'm going to spend money on a date, I want to know if I actually have a thing for this girl, and then it's not just superficial or it's because, oh, she looks pretty or whatever. I'll hang out with someone for days, kind of talking and maybe being a little romantical. But if I'm actually planning on trying to maybe date someone, like if I don't have no plans to date a girl and it's just plain a plan to be a one night stand or whatever, she's cool with the one night stand, and I'm, yeah, I'll be a little bit, it's a different, style. But my wife's gonna listen to it and be like, ugh. No, but she knows the stories. She's heard me and buddies talk about the stuff. But yeah, most of the girls I've ever dated, or whenever by the time our first date, I met them quite a few times before I even asked them out. Like even my wife, think we talked like almost a week or so or more before I decided to ask her on a date. And that's because I'm like, oh, she's kind of cool. Maybe. I mean, there's also other situations with that one with me and her, but yeah, I have never just met a girl except for a handful of times. It was like speed dating stuff.
The what stuff?
The speed dates.
Speed dates? What the heck is that?
So, and a lot of men apparently don't go to those anymore. That was a whole big old thing I've seen on the video. So you go to this place, you pay a fee to come in, you can eat, drink, whatever, and you have a number. And you start out at certain tables, and you get to talk to the girl on the table for a limited time, and then they ring a bell or whatever, and you move to the next table. All the guys just shift. And by the end of the night, if there was a guy or that you really like, if the girl really liked this one guy or the guy really liked this one girl, they can exchange numbers before they leave. Those are interesting. Those are entertaining, at least.
Yeah,
It's just a way to. It's a way to. Huh?
Kind of sounds like almost like the real life version of maybe what you would do on a dating app. How you're doing the whole swipe left, swipe. It's like, yeah, let's try this girl. Oh, let's try. Yeah,
it really is. I mean, I guess that's probably the concept the dating apps took. Is from speed dating, but of course, dating apps just made it more efficient. You didn't have to go out and pay. I think I paid like $120 at one of them.
Jeez.
The food was good and it was good drinks, but
I would hope so.
I went home with a chick, but they didn't go any further. Clearly, because he's not the one I'm married.
I was about to say, is it the one you're married to now?
No, I didn't meet my wife speed dating. I met her because she was a friend of my cousins.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
So she came over to hang out with them, and I just happened to be there because I was living with them at the time over in Kansas. And I decided to ask her out because I guess I found out she thought I was cute. So I was like, why not?
You just said, what the heck? Let's just get married.
No, it took us 10 years to get married.
Yeah, but y'all got engaged a long time ago.
We got engaged. I think it was after 3 years of being together.
Yeah. That's a pretty good round time. Yeah.
Yeah, my grandma was constantly talking about how, you should have, if you were actually serious about being with this girl, you should have asked her to marry you. It's been a year. She had this idea that if you don't ask someone to marry you within a year, you're not very serious about it. I'm like, yeah, that's why a lot of people have been divorced. I'm a very take my time person.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that
when it comes to dating. Because I don't see, my thing is, I know I'm an asshole and I'm this and that. So I know my personality doesn't always meld well with other people for long periods of time.
Yeah.
So the reason I take my time is to see if they actually want to keep dating me as well as me wanting to keep dating them. Because for me, I don't want to waste my time and I don't want them to waste their time. Because for all I know, the next guy they date could be the guy that they're going to marry or whatever, have a good relationship with. And all I'm doing is potentially standing in that way.
Yeah.
And it's just not going to work. So I'm like, and by verse, I mean, the next girl I meet might be the best girl. I mean, eventually got that point. Actively though, I think I've only dated 15 women.
Hey, you dated more than me.
Yeah. I've been with a lot of women, but I've only dated 15.
Everybody's dated more than me. Well, maybe not everybody.
Actually, I know someone that's never. I actually know someone.
I'm just not
I don't know them.
Dating kind of guy, I guess you could say.
I don't know them, but they're friends with one of my friends.
Yeah.
That their first kiss was through, because they're actors. They're an actor. Their first kiss was on set.
Oh wow! How old were they?
It's been recent.
Oh okay.
Yeah, they're
okay. Well, I'm not quite that bad. I did have my first kiss long before that. Not quite that bad. Not that that's a bad thing. Yeah,
I had my first kiss at 8 years old.
There's nothing wrong with having a first kiss when you're much older. There's nothing wrong with
I mean, there's nothing wrong with not even having sex till you're much older. I mean,
that. Yeah.
I hate this whole strews of this whole concept people have of, oh, if you've had so many partners, you're a slut or you're a man hoe or whatever. But on the other side, if you haven't had a lot of partners or things,
Right.
you're a bore. You're something's wrong with you.
Yeah. It's like they're
This
one
whole-
extreme or the other. They want you to
Yeah.
be this perfect middle. Yeah. And I'm
But
like,
there is
well,
no
sorry,
perfect
that's I'm like, that's not realistic. Not everybody fits in the same box as you. Yeah.
So my thing about it is, my buddy's like, oh, why would you get with that? What would you get with that chick? She's had like, we know about 20 guys in her. I'm like, oh, are they in her currently? No.
As long as they're not trying to get in there, while I'm
Yeah. Like, I don't care if she's been with 600 guys.
Yeah.
If it's still fun to have sex with her, or she's still fun to go hang out with.
Yeah. I like what I think it was Jeff Dunham that made the joke where he was talking about like maybe I shouldn't say this because this might offend some people of certain religion, but
You've already
I just-
offended the Christian.
I know now I'm going to offend the Muslims too. But
Oh God, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. You do not tell jokes on the Muslim.
okay, well it's technically not my joke, but I won't say it. So
You know, it's like a comedian once said, you can't tell the same jokes on a Muslim as you will a Christian. And a Christian, if they have problems with that, maybe they should start blowing stuff up.
and you just went around and told a joke.
Yep. That was the whole thing. I had to do the skit. So you can tell your joke. I was just fucking with you.
Like I said, it's not my joke. I'm just repeating one. But
Yeah, you can tell the Jeff Dunham joke.
He was basically he just made a joke about saying like the suicide
42
bombers.
virgins.
Yeah, they.
You mean I had to
believe that
teach
when-
42 women how to have
Yeah.
sex?
It's just like because he was talking about like, yeah, that is true. I never really thought about how that would be. It's kind of like Christians' view. Now I'm going to be offending Christians, but kind of like the Christians' view of like heaven. Like a lot of Christians believe that all heaven really is just basically just going to be like a long church event, like where you're just going to be constantly worshiping God for all eternity. And people that it's like, how is that appealing to non-Christians? I'm like, that
Yeah.
wouldn't be appealing to them.
Well, because like there's the concept of heaven with different Christian congregations is weird because like even I remember this conversation with my cousin, and she was furious with this person because she's Christian and they are Christian, but they're two different denominations.
Yeah.
And the person was talking to her is talking about how when we die and go to heaven, we're a clean slate. We don't remember nothing from our time on earth. We
Yeah.
won't know anybody there. It's all a clean slate.
Which I would not like, but yeah.
And it pissed off my cousin, who, in her belief, is when you go to heaven, it's just the perfect earth. It's just earth, but perfected. And, you can you can see your family members that have passed away and get to spend time with them again and all be happy and this and that. And she's had a couple miscarriages, and
Yeah.
I think one of them was a stillborn. I can't fully remember. And there's a lot of people are like, oh, that's bad if you can't remember. There's a lot of trauma in my family. And so in her belief, she'd be able to go to heaven and see her child that she couldn't get to raise on earth and raise them in heaven.
Right.
And this person's over here telling her, no, that's not how it works. So she got, and rightfully so, pissed off.
Yeah.
I remember me and her talking about that. I'm like, the concept that every denomination has, some of them are similar, but some of them are just so out there in what they believe.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It gets pretty weird depending on who you talk to.
But they all have the same concept of hell for the most part.
Yeah. That is true. A lot of people do. Even the Muslims and Christians have the pretty similar view of hell. The only difference is Muslims believe Christians are going to hell, and Christians believe Muslims are going to hell. Just
That's what, like, luckily for me, like with my beliefs, we're all the same in what was going to happen in Valhalla. I mean, it's just one way.
yeah.
You know, to me, Valhalla sounds like a perfect heaven. You know, get to feast and party, and then go out into the fields and just fight and have a blast killing each other, and then come back to life, go back to the hall, eat some more, and have some fun. You know.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about the fighting part, but I do like the idea of heaven just being one big party. I like that idea.
Yeah.
So,
like one big, everyone's happy, no one's upset, no one feels pain anymore.
Yeah.
That's the perfect concept to the end of what we deal with on an average day life.
Yeah.
Which is everything we do can kill us. I mean, hell, our own sun slowly kills us. Damn, we got really weird on that. We got way out there.
We always do.
Oh, yeah. We cover a lot of things. But in the aspect of it, like, it shouldn't matter, like, what the person's, like, history was when it comes to dating-wise in the most part. Like, if you find out this guy, every woman he's ever been with, he was abusing them, yeah, that's no. Or this chick, every guy she's ever been with, she's just, you know, ate all his money and left him broke and then cheated on him. No. But if it's because the guy or girl has had a lot of fun or not that much fun, that shouldn't be a deciding factor, in my opinion. Like,
my universe. Sorry, I get that song.
Damn it, now it's in my head. What's better than what was been playing in my freaking head for weeks now? So I had a dream and I was in a library and the books were flying around. So it was like a magical library, kind of like Harry Potter. And for some freaking reason,
excuse me,
I was hearing this song playing on and I was like, what is that? And I finally tuned into what it was. And it was the freaking Reading Rainbow theme song.
Oh, yeah. Butterfly in the sky. I can go twice as high. Take a look.
It's in a book.
Reading
Rainbow. I can. But that's been in my
anywhere.
Freaking head for
friends to know. Place.
God.
That place to go.
Yeah. But you know what? I'm going to end this right here with everyone. Y'all going to have Reading Rainbow in your head, hopefully.
There you go.
God,
if they grew up watching that show, they may not be familiar.
Well, now they're going to. Now someone who's never heard of it, like, what is this song?
No, they're going to. Yeah, they're going to look it up on YouTube.
If you don't know, if you've never heard that song,
it is a very catchy song.
It's so catchy, and it will. I hate some of the 2000s and 90s.
When I was a kid, I would always get the Gola Gola Island song stuck in my head. Come on, let's play together in the bright sunny weather. Let's all go to Gola Gola Island.
I would get the Dragon Tail song stuck in my head.
Yeah, I know the show. I'm not sure what their theme song
is. Dragon Tail.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's back in my head. Fuck. All right, everyone. Have a good time. You know, like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on Spotify and Instagram. Did I cover everything real quick?
And make sure to go download my game and leave a review.
Please. Oh, yeah. I got to download his game and leave a review.
It's free to play, so you don't have to worry about that, but just leave me a review. So.
Have a good night, everyone. Bye.
Yep.